What is up, everyone? Welcome to the FAA podcast. Our last two teams to mock here. We have the Atlanta Falcons and the Indianapolis Colts, two teams that are kind of in flux quarterback wise. You know, the Colts had a great season going with Daniel Jones until he went down. Season kind of fell to the wayside after that with Phillip Rivers and company. Um, the Falcons were kind of a similar thing. They were in the NFC South hunt majority of the season, and they Michael Penix injured once again. Now Tua Tagovailoa there. Maybe a competition happens. These two teams have are two of the 6 teams without a first round pick. So the Colts, they only have 7 total picks. We got 2 in the mock draft tonight. The Falcons have the second fewest picks in the draft at just 5. We're going to have 2 of those tonight. The Giants Seahawks have the least amount of picks with 4 this year. Steelers have 12 as the host team. They are going to be picking a lot. So it's fantastic weekend in Pittsburgh. Let's get to it. So, of course, starting out Fernando Mendoza for the Raiders. The Jets go Sonny Styles. That's weird. David Bailey goes to the Cardinals. Arvell Reese to the Titans. Caleb Downs for the Giants. Carnell Tate to the Browns. Jordan Tyson for the Commanders. Ruben Bain goes to the Saints. The Chiefs go Spencer Fano. Jeremiah Love goes to the Giants. Dolphins take Jermod McCoy. Cowboys taking Mansour Delane. Francis Mauigoa for the Rams. Mekhi Lemon goes to the Ravens. Kenyon Sadiq for the Bucks. Jets going Dylan Thieneman. Lions get Monroe Freeling. Casey Concepcion goes to the Vikings. Panthers going Caleb Lomu. Cowboys get Caden McDonald. Steelers go Keldrick Falk. Chargers getting Akeem Messidor. Eagles go Caden Proctor. Blake Miller for the Browns. Peter Woods goes to the Bears. Liva Vega Ione for the Bills. 49ers going Maxi Inachor. Colton Hood for the Texans. Avion Terrell for the Chiefs. Omar Cooper Jr. for the Dolphins. Patriots go Denzel Boston. Seahawks get Chris Johnson. The Jets go Ty Simpson. Cardinals going CJ Allen. The Titans go Chris Bell. Chase Besantis for the Raiders. Giants going Jeremy Bernard. Jacob Rodriguez for the Texans. AJ Halsey for the Browns. Zion Young, the Lions, coming up for pass rusher. 50 and a third next year. Christian Miller for the Bengals. Keith Abney for the Saints. TJ Parker for the Dolphins. D'Angelo Pons, the Bucks, the Bengals coming up 72, a second and a sixth next year. Gabe Jacas for the Ravens. Bucks go Julian Neal. And we are finally on the clock with the Colts. So I mentioned they had 7 picks. So this is not a bad trade, a 4th rounder to move down 5 spots. That one's a ton from the Ravens. Not going to do that. But what do I have for the Colts? Interior O-line, or not interior O-line, linebacker. Linebacker times 2 is my number 1 need. They traded Zaire Franklin to the Green Bay Packers this year. Got Colby Wooden back to help solidify the front 7, or the front 4, I should say. They also signed Arden Key. They did sign Akeem Davis-Gaither. He was a cap casualty from the Cardinals, getting long in the tooth, though, a little bit. They really have nothing else at linebacker. You look at Austin Ajike, Jalen Carlisle, who they like, but listed as a backup behind a JK. I don't really like that. John Bullock, I have no clue. Joseph Vaughn, I have no clue. Devin Verasuk, I have no clue who these guys are. So you can keep Carlisle and Davis Gaither. I think they need two in this draft, though. Unfortunately, they can't get high enough to take Sonny Styles, but there are plenty of other guys in the second round worthy of taking wide receiver times two as well. You look, they traded Michael Pittman Jr. to the Steelers. They signed Nick Westbrook-Akina. They have Josh Downs, okay. Alec Pierce, of course, signed a big deal, but they have no depth, really. Anthony Gold has not really been that great going into year 3 as a fifth-round pick from 24. Ashton Doolin has been a great veteran, but a backup. Same thing can be said for Laquan Treadwell. They're both career backups, even though Treadwell was a first-round pick. But he's been making it as a, 3, 4, 5, 6 guy the last couple years. So I think they need two wide receivers, one starting caliber player, and one depth player as well to play special teams and fill out the wide receiver room. Edge is my third one for Indy. They signed Arden Key in free agency, Michael Clemens as well. I need more. Laiatu Latu has not been great as a first rounder from 24 going into year 3 here. JT Tuimoloau really did nothing last year as a second round pick in his rookie season. So looking for a lot more from him in year 2. I do like Viliami Fehoko. He's been a pretty solid player depth wise throughout his short career so far. But yeah, I need to see a depth or a starting rotational guy at edge. Interior O-line and tackle here. That is mainly for depth reasons. Josh Sills, Jimmy Morrissey, Dalton Tucker, Bill Murray, Ladarius Henderson, not confident in that group inside and outside on the tackle. Blake Freeland, I do like that, but I'm questioning Jalen Travis as a fourth rounder from last year going into year 2, being the starting right tackle. Luke Tenuta backing him up there. So maybe just draft one, maybe in the 7th round to provide some competition there. Running back, could also be something to look at late in round or late on day 3. Ulysses Bentley is the RB3 right now. I like the Taylor and DJ Giddens combo at the top, but maybe get some competition for RB3 there. For Indy, okay, I think we have no linebackers, unfortunately, because Jacob Rodriguez would be the guy that I would target. CJ Allen's probably out of their range, but Jacob Rodriguez is a guy I really love. Actually, no, we do have a guy, Anthony Hill. Okay, Anthony Hill's a guy that can play. I think the Will linebacker, little light there, 6'2", 238, but great athleticism, 37-inch on the vert, 4'5", 140, 10'5" broad, 158 split 10. That's great. Average on the bench reps, but nonetheless, a 981 RAS score is fantastic. Putting him up with the likes of Kenneth Murray, Chappelle Russell as well. 4th in RAS score there. So that's excellent to see. I really like Anthony Hill, ultra productive as well. Over 40 games, 250 of those tackles, 17 sacks, 3 picks, 8 forced fumbles, 4 pass defense. I think this would be an excellent addition and much needed addition to the middle of this Indianapolis defense. So I'm not going to sit here and wait. I would like to add that 4th rounder from the Packers, but I'm not going to sit around and wait. If they didn't already have Sauce Gardner, I would say Brandon Cisse is an outstanding value here. But they don't really need any corners. I really like their corner room, especially with the addition of Cam Taylor-Britt. They are already set at the top 6 or 7, unless Kenny Moore gets traded. If Kenny Moore gets traded, you move Justin Wally into that starting nickel spot. Then you probably are looking to add one more, but more likely a nickel than an outside. Manuel McNeil Warren as well would be a welcome addition to any secondary. But again, I like this safety room. Actually, you know what? Hunter Wooler, 25 7th rounder, Cam Bynum, Wanye Thomas, Jonathan Owens, Daniel Scott. Yeah, I'm going to pivot. I'm talking myself out into it. Emmanuel McNeil-Warren's a guy that should be going in the first round potentially. So, as much as I would love to get Anthony Hill, I think the value is much too steep to not take Emmanuel McNeil-Warren here. Falcons, we have the next pick. Too far down for us for the Rams, way too far for the Bills. So what do we need in Atlanta? Okay, Atlanta, I have my first need as wide receiver ×2. I'm not trusting Jahan Dotson or Olamide Zaccheaus, Casey Washington, Devin Tompkins, Dylan Drummond, Chris Blair. I'm not trusting those guys, okay? They have Kyle Pitts on the franchise tag. They haven't signed him to a long-term extension. Michael Penix is hurt. Tua Tagovailoa's new. Trevor Siemian's new. Look, they need playmakers on the outside for whoever is going to play quarterback, okay? So I think we need 2 wide receivers. Again, similar to the Colts, but the Falcons are a little bit different in the fact that they have guys that can potentially be their starting 3 in London, Dotson, and Zaccheaus. I would still like to probably add 1 starter and a depth piece as well. Offensive tackle, okay, big news at right tackle. Caleb McGarry retiring this offseason. They signed Mr. Penalty Machine himself, Jawan Taylor. They have Storm Norton in-house, who they re-signed. Jack Nelson going into year 2 as a 7th rounder last year. I think they need to tackle because Jawan Taylor just ain't it, has not been it, and will never be it. Nose tackle, okay, they traded Ruka Rohoro for Mason Smith, 1-for-1. Lakia London is his main backup. Give competition. I mean, they need some competition there for sure. Guard, Matt Bergeron and Chris Lindstrom are great, but Kyle Hinton, Andrew Stuber, I need some more depth there. Edge and corner, okay, edge, James Pierce Jr. coming off the injury, but a great rookie season, year 2 for him. Jalen Walker was not as great of a rookie season, but looking to upgrade in year 2 as well. They signed some great veterans, Samson Ebukam and Azeez Ojulari in free agency, along with Cameron Thomas. They do still have Braylon Trice and D'Angelo Malone, former draft picks in the 3rd round. Trice in 2024, D'Angelo Malone in 2022. So there's talent there. They need to get the most out of it. But I still think for the long term, probably get 1 guy to add into that group. Again, only 5 picks here for Atlanta, so it's tough. And then corner, just some insurance for Mike Hughes, CJ Henderson, guys that have been first-round busts throughout their career. They did sign Darnay Holmes recently to back up Billy Bowman Jr. at nickel, which I really like. Clark Phillips I like as well. Just probably 1 more and some competition there at corner. So how's that set up for us here with Atlanta? I know I just talked about corner. Unfortunately, Cisse is not a guy that the type of guy that I would want to really take here. Although he would probably be an upgrade over Mike Hughes. Am I going to talk myself into it again? I don't think I am, just because unlike the Colts situation where Anthony Hill was a little bit lower on the board here, we do have a guy at the top of the board, Chris Brazzell, excellent size, 6'4", 198, can be a jump ball guy just like Drake London, but he's also fast, 4'3", 152 on the split, smaller hands, but Not worried about it. The wingspan is fantastic at 80 and an eighth inches. You look at DJ Chark, Andre Iosivas, Adonai Mitchell, those guys he kind of compares with in terms of the 4.3 speed. He didn't do any of the other verticals there or the testing, but the numbers speak for themselves. 37 games, 2,072 yards, 16 touchdowns, pretty solid. PFSN has corner as a need. I don't see it as a big need. I see wide receiver as a bigger need, but I don't hate the value here. I mean, this is excellent. So let's do it. Talk myself into it again. Brandon Cisse for the Atlanta Falcons. Anthony Hill goes to the Vikings. Of course he does. Malachi Lawrence for the Chiefs. Panthers go Genesis Smith. Caleb Tiernan for the Packers. Steelers go Lee Hunter. Eagles getting Chris Brazzell. Kamari Ramsey for the Chargers. Jags go Emmanuel Pregnon. Traden Stukes for the Bears. The 49ers go Keelan Rutledge. Ted Hurst for the Texans. Bears getting Cassius Howell. Sam Hecht, Vikings coming up 82 and 97. Oscar Delp goes to the Broncos. Jake Golday for the Patriots. Mike Washington Jr. for the Seahawks. Antonio Williams for the Cardinals. Will Lee for the Titans. Packers coming up for Keontae Scott, 84 and 120. Jennings Dunker for the Eagles. Jadarian Price goes to the Texans. Katron Allen for the Browns. Jags coming up for Grayson Halton, 81 and 124. Jacoby Lane to the Jets. Saints go Josiah Trotter. Caleb Banks for the Chiefs. Jude Bowery for the Dolphins. Steelers going Skylar Bell. R. Mason Thomas for the Bucks. And we are on with the Colts here. 3 spots for a 5th next year. What do we have on the board here? So we went way off of my needs, and we went safety at the first pick with Emmanuel McNeil-Warren. The value is too good. And unfortunately, we don't have really any linebackers. Deontay Lawson is the next one. Wide receivers, Bryce Lance is there. Zachariah Branch as well. Elijah Surratt, so I'm okay in that regard. Edge rusher, Joshua Josephs. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to take this trade here from Washington, pick up a 5th rounder, move back 3 spots. They come up for Connor Liu. All right, we're on with the Falcons. That's too far to move back. Buffalo, also too far to move back for me and my liking Philly. So we got Brandon Cisse here with the Falcons. The wide receiver would be the next one. Okay. Wide receiver is a big one I like here. Demetrius Crownover. Okay. But let's get a wide receiver here. And I'm going to keep the man in Georgia. Okay. I love Zachariah Branch going to the Atlanta Falcons. He can be the slot guy that looks like they have Olamide Zaccheaus playing right now. Definitely an upgrade there. He can also be your returner. They have slotted in Devin Tompkins right now, but you can fill 2 spots with one guy. That helps you in roster construction, right? So I think Zachariah Branch would be an excellent fit with the Atlanta Falcons. Small stature, 5'8" and 5'8", 177. But you look at the testing, the wingspan is actually pretty good for how small he is. Jumps off the charts. And this one was what I saw before. 20 on the bench is insane for not only a wide receiver, but a 5'8" wide receiver. Like that is incredible that he put up 20 on the bench there. And, you know, the likes of Dree Archer, McCole Hardman, Andy Isabella, guys with dominant speed, needs to reform his route tree a little bit. But I think he's going to be able to do that in Atlanta with the route runner that he will be learning under in Drake London. So Give me Zach Branch for the Atlanta Falcons here. Eli Stowers for the Ravens. Our final pick with the Colts, probably too far back for me, Seattle and Arizona. So we picked up a fifth rounder. We have Emmanuel McNeil Warren in the fold here. Really want to get a linebacker. But Deontay Lawson, 6'3", 226, very light there for a linebacker. Didn't test. He has injury concerns, I believe. Not bad in terms of comps there. 47 games, very experienced, which I love. Can do a lot, right? No insane athletic scores here. Average to elite, 81 overall. The thing that I would like to know is the coverage ability. Okay, they're saying he can be a Mike. Okay. Yeah, the play strength, something that's tough. But I don't hate it. However, I like the wide receiver better. I just do. I'm really big on Bryce Lance, okay? North Dakota State, dominant production in 30 games. Only 2 touchdowns, which is absolutely insane that he only scored 2 touchdowns. Big body, 6'3", 204. Great speed, 4.34, 995 on the RAS score, which is insane. Third among wide receivers at the combine. You're looking at DeVere Posey, Josh Malone. I don't really know most of the other guys, but he's the guy I really like. I don't know. Very difficult decision. You also have Elijah Surratt down here, who had ultra production in 51 games. Now he scored 44 touchdowns. And also very good athletics. They have him at 6.3 athletic score, probably because he didn't test. But this is a very difficult one. I'm gonna stick to my needs though, and I'm gonna go linebacker Deontay Lawson for the Colts. The Rams, they go Bryce Lance. Joshua Josephs, Eagles come up 98 and a fourth next year. Demetrius Crownover for the Raiders. Steelers go Davis Igbinosun. Fibechi Nwaiwu for the Chargers. Cage Casey for the Dolphins. The Jags get Kalon Black. Parker Brailsford for the Bears. Renee Conga for the Dolphins. Deny Dennis Sutton, Bills. Cowboys go Jalen Kilgore. Rams get Dominique Orange. Dolphins get Bud Clark. Patriots go Caleb Proctor. Seahawks go Jalen Farmer. Rams get Eli Raritan. Panthers go Jonah Coleman. Steelers get Lewis Moore. The Jags end it with Takario Davis. So here's what we got with 2 teams. Both had 2 picks in the mock here. Emmanuel McNeil Warren. It was just too great a value to pass up at 47. That guy's probably going to be a first rounder on Thursday night. Deontay Lawson, who traded back 3 spots, picked up a Washington's 5th rounder next year. Good value for only 3 spots in the second round and the third round. Deontay Lawson going to fill in that Mike linebacker spot. Move Akeem Davis-Gaither to the will. Falcons, I thought it was an excellent draft. Brandon Cisse at 48, again, just like McNeil Warren. I talked myself into the value over need pick here. Excellent value. I think Cisse is going to be gone potentially in the first round, but definitely early round 2, I believe. Zachariah Branch at 79, good value, I thought. They liked it as a B grade. I think anywhere in the third round, you're really going to be okay taking Zach Branch, despite his 5'8" stature. Just ultra speed there, 4.3 speed, and can punt return for you as well. So a twofer. Um, yeah. So that is the Falcons and the Colts mock drafts. Tell us what you think. Don't forget to follow us on all our social media at FAA Podcast, Instagram and X, FAA_Bets as well. FAApodcast.com is our website. You can check us out here on YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram as well. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and I guess TikTok at Football Addicts Pod. And we will see y'all back tomorrow night. Yeah, it's a crazy run of shows here from Sunday through Thursday. Tomorrow night, don't want to miss it. Our one and only complete first round mock draft. Logan and I will be on, and we will be making picks for all 32 teams at the same time. So don't miss it.